Okay, hello. Today we're talking about the 3 mark of the Strv 1030 or 0. I think it's 0. This is the Tier 9 Swedish Tank Destroyer, which I was grinding through this to get the 103B because my only other Tier 10 Tank Destroyer is the Grill 15, and I'm trying to do TD 15 for the Object 260, which requires 8,000 damage and 6 kills and a win. And I just wasn't having any luck with the Grill 15 because it's kind of been power creeped, and with the nerf, the Grill is honestly pretty weak in my opinion, so I was just not having good games with it. I did 3 mark the Grill, but I mean, it's not a fun tank to play. Anyway, so I had a female crew in the premium tier 8 one for the STRV S1, so I thought I might as well just like go down this line and get the 103B because it's like, I know it does big damage. But anyway, I've been having a terrible time playing this tank. I really just find it honestly kind of useless. You just can't, in an S tank, you can't really flex or push or be aggressive. It's just not very flexible, and I'm really not enjoying these tanks, man. But yet here I am, 3 marking this tier 9. I mean, I didn't go out of my way to do this 3 mark session because grinding through it takes about approximately 100 games, so it's like you're gonna get it anyway if you're grinding it. Okay, so let's talk about the game now. We're on Redshire, and we just killed something. But anyway, Redshire I find is the best map in the game by far for S tanks. I actually like Redshire pretty much any tank, but anyway. So from this spawn, what you can do is you can, let me just zoom out for a second. So you can drive up here, come just knock over these trees, and sit in this bush here. It's going to give you great camo, and we just got a track assist kill for that. UDES over there, and we can just sit up here, play with your binocs, play with your camo, not get spotted, and just shoot stuff that gets lit over here. And also the advantage of this spot is if your team loses the 9-0 line, what happens is the enemies push across this open, and if you spot them, you usually actually can't spot them from this position, but if there's someone still spotting them, you just have flank shots on them all. So it's a really good opportunity to farm from this position. So, and I mean, if I'm playing on the other side of Redshire, I'll just come up and play over here as kind of a mirror. So anyway, as you can see, that's exactly what has happened. Our team has lost the 9-0 line, so the enemies are just pushing through. They're still lit because we got some guys that they haven't killed yet, and we just have a side shot. So we're pretty much running full DPM. The advantage that this tank does have is it has good gun handling, but this tank isn't actually as accurate as the tier 10 or the premium one or even the UDES, so it's can be kind of derpy. And we're firing the premium shells now, 350 pen with the APCR. You might think, why are you firing premium if you have 308 pen? Well, if you actually calculate it with the 25% RNG, 308 pen can roll for something like 230, and 230 is not going to go through a Type 4 or an E5, or yeah, that's the way it goes. So premium 350 helps with RNG. Anyway, so our team is getting crushed right now, and we've got a ping spammer. Should have blacklisted him. I don't think I did. Missed the kill shot there on the 263. So what's kind of happened is they've pushed under, so we're not really getting that easy farm anymore. But this is still the position that I want to be in for now, at least. So I'm trying to double bush here, trying not to get lit. I'm still in siege mode, of course, because these stupid tanks have siege mode. Anyway, so I want to spot them as they come through here. There we go, get the kill shot on the Type 4. That's good, what we need. And we've kind of started to pull this game back slowly, but there are full health heavies now coming through here. I'm just trying to get the shots on them, but I don't quite have an angle here. Just kind of waiting for them to make the mistake and push across, and that's exactly what the T32 is going to do. So we're just spotting it with the binocs. Once I pop the binocs, I have something like 520 view range now, I think it is. Yeah, it might have been a little bit less at the time of this game when I was still training my crew up, but anyway, so it's over 500 view range, so it's going to be good to break camo. And this Yike are just going to give us his side, so I'm going to take these shots, why not? There we go, I do get spotted by the Yike there. I wasn't really using the bushes perfectly, so I don't really want to poke out. Now, the armor in the S-tanks, you have to, in order to play S-tanks, or even play against S-tanks really, like this, you need to understand armor mechanics. So this tank has 40 millimeters of armor pretty much everywhere, I believe, on the front. So what that means is if you're getting shot at by 120 millimeter guns or less, they're not going to penetrate you usually, because usually the angle is going to be too high. I can't remember, I think it's like 70 something degrees or whatever is from the normal. It's kind of like complicated to explain it, but anyway, the angle's too extreme to be penetrated by AP or APCR shells. The thing is though, heat shells, they can penetrate angles that are greater. So if you're getting shot at by 120mm by AP, it's gonna bounce. However, if that 120mm gun switches from AP to heat, it's probably going to penetrate every time. Now the tier 10, I find heat still has problems going through even when you're not hitting the heat shield, so I don't even understand how to ban the tier 10 basically. So I'm pretty bad, but whatever. Yeah, so anyway, this tank, you need to keep the overmatch mechanics in mind. So if, say you're getting shot at by 122mm gun, you're not going to want to expose to that ever, because it's going to penetrate you everywhere. Except I think there is actually like two patches of 50mm or 60mm armor somewhere on this, or I think yeah, it's 60 on the tier 10. But anyways, but basically, if you're getting shot at by 122s, 130s, anything higher than that, it's just going to automatically penetrate you no matter what angle it is. So to use this tank's armor effectively, as you can see, I haven't blocked anything this game. You have to know what caliber the gun is of the enemies you're fighting. Okay, anyway, back to the game. So you can see there, I ran away from that position, basically because the enemies were getting too close. They were lighting me. I was going to get overwhelmed, and I can't keep poking effectively in this tank when I'm lit. So I've fallen back to A1, as far away as I can get from the enemy, and because I know they're going to continue pushing, and this Type 4 has done exactly that. He's continued pushing. He can't see me. His view range is not good enough, and I'm able to finish him off there. Just 3 easy shots. So we're up to 7k damage. However, this game is just, it's not looking good at all. They're capping, so we have 20 seconds left, and since I have no turret, it's going to be really difficult for me to reset the cap. So there's a building on the cap they're obviously going to be hiding behind, so I can't really do anything. At this point, you can see the path I was taking there. I was YOLOing in. Luckily, this Scorpion gets the reset, so I stop YOLOing in because it was pretty much suicide, but it was my only option there. So this Jagdpanzer gets lit. I run away from him. I don't want to take the shot from him. I'm trying to get back into the low ground there. I think the Jagdpanzer probably did have an angle on me there for a second, but I don't know, he didn't take the shot. And I have full hit points, so I wouldn't have actually died there. Anyway, but I did see the Jagdpanzer just fire, so I know I have a second or two. Well, I actually have like about 20 seconds, but I don't want to just YOLO in and die, and because he still has a minute left to cap. So I'm just going to use this position and wait for opportunities to present themselves. Like, that was an opportunity, but I was repositioning my tank, so my gun was too bloomed to take the shot there, and I was just not ready for it. So the defender gets lit here and aim a shot in, and there we go, the defender's gone. Alright, so yeah, now it's just me and the Scorpion here against the Oho E5, which is on the other side of the map, and the Jagdpanzer. So if I had a turret here, obviously I could go track the Jagdpanzer, I could go outplay him, I could go poke on him, but with this tank, you can't. So I type in chat that I'm gonna go in because I want to go take out this Jagdpanzer, even if it means taking a hit before the E5 and Oho get there. So the Scorpion knows to help me, and the Jagdpanzer here just makes a mistake. He makes it easy for me. He pokes out there, and I get the track. He repairs it, but I just pull back, and now he's facing me. So I'm just gonna wait for the Scorpion to go in there and finish him off because he's distracted by me. And there we go. I don't quite get that shot in there. So now he's looking at the Scorpion. The Scorpion gets him anyway. So that doesn't matter. Jagdpanzer, the cap is dealt with. So now this Oho is pushing across in the open here. So I'm just in a perfect position to counter this Oho. He's in the open. I have this ridge. I have a bush. Yes, there's nothing this Oho can do now. We're just gonna poke up and farm him. Here we go. So at this point, I've noticed that I've done over 8,000 damage, and I was wanting to get the 2 kills because, as you can see, the TD-15, you need to destroy 6 vehicles, so the Scorpion takes the kill. So obviously I'm not going to get TD-15 no matter how much damage I've done. But anyway, it's still the best game I had in this tank. This isn't the 3-mark game. I'll show another one after that was the actual 3-mark game. But anyway, yeah, so E5 now. I'm just trying to be careful. I don't want to just like throw the game. Like I don't know, the E5 could like track me somehow or set me on fire. I don't know, something like that could happen. But yeah, so I decided to just like push in now, go into siege mode, try and get him there. But see, this tank, it's just so frustrating to play situations like this because I go into siege mode, can't move, get out of siege mode, chase him down, and the Scorpion's gonna take the kill because I just couldn't get there in time. and you can't aim when you're not in siege mode. So, yeah, I mean, this game was basically just farming tanks that push across the 9-0 line, because this position up here and this position back here is great for defending the cap and everything. So, Redshire, basically a perfect map to defend with a Strv. Alright, so let's move on to the third mark game. Okay, so this is the third mark game, and we are on Prokhorovka. As you can see, there's kind of a theme here. S-Tank, open map. These tanks, the tier 10, tier 9, Udas, the premium, whatever, these tanks are completely dependent on what map it is. If you're playing on Himmelsdorf, you're probably going to have a bad game. If you're playing on Runeberg, probably going to have a bad game. Ensk, probably going to have a bad game. Abbey, like, you get the idea. Open maps, you're probably going to have a good game. Or not, because these tanks are just random. Not very consistent in my opinion. So that's why I'm not really enjoying them. But anyway, so we've got a good situation here, and we're just going to try and make the most of it. Prokhorovka, S-Tank, just try and go snipe somewhere. You know, play the game with one hand. You don't need the keyboard. You just need to put it in siege mode and move your mouse around and click on stuff. So that's what we're going to do. See a tank lit, siege mode, aim for a little bit, and click. There we go, some damage. This game actually isn't that impressive. I can't remember how much damage it was in the end. Like, not that much, but it was enough to get the 3 mark here, and I'm just showing it for the sake of showing off the 3 mark game. So shooting at the tier 10 AMX, I'm not really sure how to pen those. They're kind of new. I think there's like a pola or something, but I wasn't taking that shot on the turret. I don't think that would have gone through. So there's a pattern that's lit. That's an easy pen. Just aim center of mass. There we go. He's not really moving, so I'm just gonna take these blind shots. And now I'm just locking my cursor in place with the right mouse button to continue firing while I look around. So our team's kind of dying. So I feel like I should move up to the one line and try and actually spot some targets maybe with my binocs. So I'm going to move up to this bush, and this leopard, he didn't spot me for some reason, but somehow I spotted him. I don't really know how that works through a bush. So 3 marks, of course, take into account spotting damage. So this is obviously very useful just to get 1400 spotting damage like that. That's basically just as valuable as doing real damage. And the leopard gets blind shot out. We don't get the assist for that, but that's helping our team win. So back up here to double bush it to get the camo, and we can finish off that pattern, and we also get the spotting for the pattern. Then we also spot a T-44 without even needing to pop the binocs, because we do still have it's probably like 420 view range without the binocs while moving around, so it's not even that bad. There we go. I don't know. I guess that bounced somehow. I don't understand how that possibly bounced, but anyway. Continuing to take these shots here. I'm not really getting lit. I'm not actually that worried of getting spotted, so double bush isn't really too important here. I don't think there's anything that can possibly spot me. There's only one light tank left, but he's been spotted, I think, on the other side of the map, so I'm pretty sure we're good. Actually, no. Has he? I don't know. Whatever. So our team's kind of winning here, so I just want to try. I haven't really done much. I've only done 1500 or a few blind shots, maybe like 2000 damage so far, so I kind of want to try and be a little bit aggressive here and get some more damage, or get some more spotting at least, because spotting damage is pretty easy to acquire on Prokhorovka if you're aggressive in situations like this, whereas damage might be harder to come by. Anyway, so I'm just going to push up here and use these bushes to see what else is left on the 1-2 line here. And there's a VK spotted. Obviously can't pen it because OP tier 8 armor. So I'm trying to find the lower plate there. And there we go, you actually get a penetration. Yeah, looking for the lower plate again. It's the best shot. Take the blind shot. I have no idea if that hits. I don't remember. So I'm just gonna. He gets unlit because these bushes were opaque. So we're gonna move up and try and light him again. I don't really want to get spotted because I see our team is kind of actually losing again. So I don't want to just throw away my hit points. So I'm trying to play it a little bit safe here at least. And I know that the VK. This is again knowing the caliber of the gun. I know he has I think a 128. At least I know he has greater than 120, so he's going to overmatch my tank and pen me. Same with the Z75, so I don't really want to get shot by them. Trying to go for the turret cheeks there. I can't get the penetration. Now this AMX, he's a one-shot. He has a big gun. I don't want him putting damage into our team or myself, so trying to take him out there. But I couldn't pen him, so I'm just going for the easier damaging shot, which is the T28. Now the T28 backs off, so now I'm going to go back to focusing the VK, but he gets unlit. T28, don't have a shot on him, don't have a shot on anything over here, so no shots, gotta move somewhere. Now, like, saying that's kind of ironic in this tank, because no shots, so you have to move somewhere. That's what I would do in any other tank, but there's so many situations in an S tank where if you have no shots, you can't just move somewhere, because there's so many positions that you can't play without a turret and with having the siege mode mechanic. So these tanks are just not flexible at all. But anyway, we got this E75 permatract there, just poking up to try and get another shot into him. I'm stupid and have terrible reaction times, I guess, so I just shoot the angled side there as he moves, so you don't get that final pen. Anyway, just looking for shots here. T-28 still on the other side, just checking that. Now I'm just moving up whilst in siege mode to see if they get lit, so I can get some shots. A bounce shot on the cupola there, pretty useless. The cupola is kind of, it's actually like, I think it's like 230 effective, but, you know, 308 pen should go through, but you never know, RNG. So side turret there for a second, just take the blind shot there. I mean, that was probably not a penetration, but, you know, if you have nothing to shoot at, you might as well take blind shots. And VK's finally lit again, so we're just going to aim in on the turret cheek, and we bounce, and someone else gets the kill. So, whatever. E75 is still there. We're taking bad shots right now. I'm just getting, I don't know if I'm placing these shots badly or getting bad RNG. But anyway, it doesn't really matter though, because we're safe in this position. It's not a risk right now. We're not lit, we're not going to get lit. And these guys are going to die eventually. So we're not really hindering our team by sitting here and taking shitty shots. We're trying our best. And you can see I kind of shake the mouse there in frustration. But anyway, there we go. I'm loading the gold at this point, and I'm just aiming into the turret there. This should go through the way he's angling his turret a little bit, and finally we get the kill. So up to 4K, but it's probably higher than 4K from blind shots, and 2K spotting. So I mean, this is more than enough to move up the 3 mark on a tier 9, especially this piece of garbage. All right, so how this game has played out so far? Let's just zoom out and look around. They've lost the east of the map, and we've taken the west. So we've got the 1-2 line, we've got this whole side of the map, which is the better side of the map to have because you can reset the cap. So I mean, they've got the hill, they've got the middle, but what I think is going to happen here, what I'm predicting is, I mean, we're going to win down there, and yeah, there we go. So I predicted they were going to start capping, that's why I'm driving back down this way, and it shouldn't really be a problem, because there's only one on cap, so I'm going to aim in for the Scorpion, and of course I missed. Someone else goes to Scorpion, and this is very dangerous. This 1390 comes to light, so if I had gotten lit there, I have no idea what angles are on me or who's going to get shot, so I snapshot him, I take him out, and I get out of siege mode to run away, because I don't want to get punished by tanks that I have no idea where they are. Okay, so we know someone at least is on the cap. Still have a minute left, so this should be pretty easy. I can just use these bushes. I should outspot everything, and then we can just reset easily. So in my opinion, I have the game in the bag, as you would say, and this SU-101 is coming to help us. So yeah, we should have this, no problem. I'm just waiting for him to get lit. I'm planning to use these bushes further up, but he gets spotted anyway, so wait, there we go. Yeah, and easy reset, just fully aim in, and we can farm some damage on this D34. He has no chance, and there we go, get the kill. And now it's just one already left. Yeah, so another thing this tank is bad at is chasing down damage. Because you can't really outplay people, you can't really brawl people, and you can't really turn and snapshot, because siege mode, you have to be pointing at whomever you're shooting at, so that's pretty annoying. And long story short, we don't get the kill on the RD, because I think we just cap out. Even though I asked my team not to cap. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, so this was the final game in the tier 9 that I played. Did not like this tank. I'm currently playing the tier 10, so I'll probably 3 mark that. I might make a video on the 3 mark of the tier 10, and if I get the 260, because I was actually really close. I was just 100 damage away. I got the 7 kills, and yeah, but you know, frustrating. Okay, so there's a 3 marks of excellence. Hit 2 blind shots, I think, there, because in game it was showing 4.9, so 2 blind shots somewhere in there. Yeah, so like 8K combined. Yeah, 8K combined here in this game, so that's pretty high. That'll move the mark up for anything. I think the expected was probably about like 3.6 combined. It wasn't that high. Like, you know, I'm not trying to brag by getting this 3 mark. Yeah, it wasn't like that impressive. Anyway, let's go to the garage and I'll show the setup I use for these tanks. Alright, so the setup here is rammer, vents, and binos for the view range, and the crew is pretty much just camo, brothers in arms, and repairs is the important ones. And also I have the view range skills and firefighting because I'm running food. Some people run 2 repair kits, but I use the med because crew does get killed and already is a thing. Also, if you're wondering why I'm looking at the tier 10s, because I sold the tier 9. I would no intention of keeping that. For the tier 8, actually, though, for this S tank, I used a camo net and not vents. You know, I'm not really sure what's going to be more beneficial in the long run. Sure, the camo net is going to give you more stationary concealment, but once you fire anyway, all your camo value pretty much goes away, so it's like pretty similar, and you know the vents are going to give you that gun handling and DPM buff. So you know, I feel like the vents here could be replaced, so they're kind of like the least important piece of equipment on this tank, but definitely rammer, definitely binocs. Yeah, so that's about all I have to talk about for the S tanks right now, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this slightly entertaining, and I'll see you all next time.